What the fuck was I saying? What the fuck was I saying? We are in effect. Absolutely, we are. What is cracking this evening? Playoff basketball. We are down to the final four. That's what we doing, right? We are down to the final four, which is super duper dope. Super duper dope. I don't know how much longer I'm going to keep the beard, but I'm going to rock it. I'm rocking it for now. My daughter says she like it, so I think I'm going to hang on to it for a little while longer. I'm not really sure. We'll see. So we'll absolutely find out. But let me see here. I do think that we have ourselves a series. We don't have ourselves a series yet. Hello, Jillian dear. How are you? We don't have ourselves a series yet, but I think we will soon. We pushing, Horton. That's all that's important, Horton. We pushing. How we pushing? I can't tell you that because I don't know. I do know we pushing though. What's up, Jaden? How you doing, brother? Curtis, what's up, brother? You good? Wayne, my man, you running good, brother? All right, that's what's up. That's good news right there. Real good news. So let's see who is in the house. What up, John? How you doing, brother? Brandon, what's up, my man? Running good? All right. Alexander, what's up, brother? JB, what's up, my man? All right, so we got some people filing in. That's good news. Julian, what's up, brother? Running good, all right? Running good? Word. So, whoops, sorry. I didn't mean to do that. Get it together over here. Go. So, to start our evening rant, I will say that I'm digging what I saw from the Golden State Warriors, but what I'm not going to do is I'm not going to let myself get sucked in where I fall into this trap of everybody else going, all right, the Warriors going to sweep these dudes. Easy. Take it easy. This series has not started yet. Not only has this series not started yet, Jason Kidd has done a very good job. He's done an exceptional job at adjusting. He's done an exceptional job at adjusting, and he's done a great job at figuring out schemes. And I'm not quite ready. I'm not going to fall into that trap of, yo, these guys are over. You saw the Warriors blow them out last night. And nah, I'm not doing that. Not doing it. What's up, Marshall? How you doing, brother? I am not falling into that trap. Absolutely not. So what I saw last night was something that I had mentioned to you guys quite a while. I saw something that I really dug. And Andrew Wiggins, I've said this in the past, he reminds me of opening up the dryer and finding a crumpled up $20 bill in there. Like, damn, I didn't know I had this. All right, this is awesome. Or an extra $200 or $300 when you put in bills, when you put in bills together, and all right, this is gonna go to this is gonna go to this is gonna go to this, and then you realize, damn, I got $300 that I forgot that I had. And it's not an extra $300. You've always had it. You just, oh damn, I got that $300, and it just shows up. And The only thing that I was disappointed in Andrew Wiggins, because I saw that effort defensively. The only thing that I was disappointed in Andrew Wiggins is the consistency of him defensively. I see him, when he was coming out of college, the athlete that he was, I saw him as a Scottie Pippen type defender. Like, I'm thinking to myself, this dude's going to be an all-league defender at minimum. Because I watched him at Kansas. I watched him have a 35-17 game. You know, I watched him clean glass. I watched him get in a stance and Bill Self make him defend. I saw that. So I'm thinking to myself, at minimum, this guy's going to be an all-league defender. Is he going to be an all-NBA performer? That remains to be seen. But at minimum, he's going to be an all-league defender. And the fact that he hasn't been is the only thing that's been disappointing to me, because I see the potential there. I thought he did a great job last night in picking up Luka 94 feet. I thought he did a great, not only picking up Luka 94 feet, pushing Luka away from the basket. And you guys know this as well as I do, right? You guys know this as well as I do. When you get to this level, when you get to the pro level, superstars very rarely get slowed down. The best players show up in the most crucial times. You very rarely see superstars get shut down or slowed down. And I thought they did a great job on Luka, forcing him into tough shots. I think he was 0 for 7 on the long ball, scored 2 points in the second half. He wasn't able to get anything going, which would explain why Bullock and Finney-Smith weren't able to get anything going, because they play off of him. He determines what they do. They're not the kind of guys who are able to get their shots off. No, that's not their game. They're catch and shoot guys. They're guys who you make plays for them. They're D&3 guys like Grayson Allen, like Connaughton, right? Guys like Derek White, guys like that. They're not guys where you drawing it up for them and, you know, they're going to go at you. No, they ain't doing that. That's not happening. So I thought that not only did he make it tough on Luka defensively, where Luka was having a difficult time just getting his shot off, I thought the most important part in that was he made Luka guard. He went right after Luka right from the beginning. Andrew Wiggins started the game 4 for 5. You're going to have to cover me. And what we also forgot about Andrew Wiggins was we forgot that Andrew Wiggins, before he got to Golden State from Minnesota, you know, he was a 20-a-game scorer for his career. Not in one season. He averaged 20 a game for his career. So he was buckets anyway. It wasn't a situation where this guy was occasionally going to give you buckets regardless. It was just about putting the other stuff together. And last night he showed that I can be that guy on the defensive end where I can make things difficult for guys. I thought the Warriors did a great job in moving the basketball and speeding up Dallas and putting them in uncomfortable situations. Clay and Steph didn't get going early, and I think a lot of that had to do with their defense. A lot of that had to do with the Golden State Warriors' defense and what they were doing defensively. So Clay was spending a lot of time dealing with Bullock, spending a lot of time dealing with Finney-Smith, getting switched on to Brunson, who's going to be crucial in this series too, by the way. He's going to be big in this series going forward, no doubt about that. So I thought that they did a really good job in slowing Luka down. Now again, Jason Kidd is one of the better guys in the game at adjusting. Nobody saw the adjustments that he was making against Phoenix, and he's going to do something similar with the Golden State Warriors. No question about that. Is he going to do something similar? I'm real interested to see how they come out in game 2. What's the game plan? Are they going to get the ball out of Luka's hands more and let Finney-Smith bring the ball up more? Are they going to let Bullock bring the ball up more? Are they going to let Brunson who is the primary ball handler, they're going to let him bring the ball up more and get Luka more in the half court instead of making Luka the primary ball handler. Are they going to do that? I'm interested. I'm really interested to see that, because when we do that, when we take the ball out of Luka's hands, right, and we get him more involved in the offense in the half court, where we're running a lot of pick and pop, pick and screen. Well, that takes a lot of pressure off of him, right? That takes a lot of pressure off him, and it's getting our offense started quicker, as opposed to when he's in the backcourt and he's getting harassed by Andrew Wiggins. And now he's crossing the half court line at 16 seconds. And, we're getting into our offense at 12 or 11 seconds, where he's got to take quick shots, right? He's got to take quick shots. So I think that's an adjustment that I can see them making. I can also see Steve Kerr making the adjustment where he gets Kuminga more involved in the offense to get them more athletic and to speed the game up. Because I don't think that I'm having a difficult time with Dallas's athleticism when we go into their bench. They kind of struggle there. I mean, Dinwiddie is one of the few guys that I can honestly say. Dinwiddie is one of the few guys that comes off their bench who I'm really surprised about, because I really didn't think that was going to work when he got traded to Dallas. I didn't. I'll be lying if I said I did. I was trying to figure out what his role was going to be. Dinwiddie is your primary ball handler. Well, Luka is a primary ball handler. Not thinking that Dinwiddie would be great on the second unit. Not thinking that how much better he would be for them on their second unit as their primary ball handler. Not even thinking that, like, man, that does make a lot of sense. And would he accept that role? Absolutely he would. Absolutely he would. He would absolutely accept that role. So I like what I saw from Golden State. So I think this is going to be a 6-game series, maybe 7. But I'm not betting against those vets. I'm having a difficult time betting against those vets, because they just seem to figure it out. And if the Golden State Warriors were to be in the finals this year, that'd be 6 times in 8 years. And how are we talking about the Golden State Warriors? What are we saying about them when we match them up with the other all-time great franchises? They've been to the NBA Finals 5 times in the last 7 years and won 3. So if they were to go to the NBA Finals this year, that's 6 trips in 8 years. And if they won it, that's 6 trips in 8 years, winning 4. How are we talking about them? I don't know about top 3 team ever, JB, but we do have to start mentioning them with the all-time great teams of the decade. Not a top 3 team ever. No. They ain't better than that Warriors team. I mean, they ain't better than the Lakers, who three-peated. I don't think they better than them. I don't think they better than that Bulls team. I don't think they better than the Lakers from the 80s. I don't think that they better than the Celtics in the 60s. No. I'm not going there. That they're a top 3 team ever. So that's my rant about the Mavs. That's my rant about the Mavs Warriors. But I was wondering. I'm glad I got you guys on line one, because I was wondering how you guys felt about. I'm glad you guys are here, because I was wondering how you guys felt about a Warriors team if they were to get past Dallas. This is 6 trips in 8 years, and if they were to win it, that'd be 4 times. I was wondering what kind of logic would we have about them. I think so, Dylan. Yeah, I think that we have to start. I think that we got to start having that conversation about them. I think we have to start having that conversation about them. I mean, were they better than the Spurs? Were they better than Were they better than that bull? Were they better than the Bulls? I'm not sure that they were better than those Laker teams. I'm not sure about that. I can't say with 100% certainty that that they would be better than them. I don't know, but I'm interested to know you guys' thoughts about that. Sauce, I'm not tripping on Pat Beverley and his antics. I said this already, and I stand on it. I don't mind that energy coming from somewhere else. Pat Beverley, you have a cubicle on the 3rd floor. You talking to an executive who's got a corner office on the top floor. You don't get to talk to him like that. Not you. Now, if Damian Lillard wanted to talk to him like that, if Russell Westbrook wanted to talk to him like that, if Steph Curry wanted to go at him, these guys, Kyrie Irving, if they wanted to have that sort of dialogue with him, that's different. You don't get to talk like that about him. Not you. You are in a cubicle on the 3rd floor. That's not your stance, my man. Absolutely not. So that's where I stand on that. What up, Keyshawn? What's going on, brother? I felt very optimistic about what you said on TikTok. I doubt Buckets goes for 40 again. You felt optimistic about what I said? I doubt Buckets goes for 40 again. I can see that happening. You can see him going for 40 again? I don't know about that. But I ain't saying that he won't go for 30, but to go for 40 again? All right. I'd like to see that. I don't know about that. JB, you think the 2017 best team ever? I don't think that 2017 was better than the Bulls in 96. That's first of all. I don't think that 2017 team, I don't think they was better than the 2001 Lakers. I don't think they was better than the 87 Lakers. I don't think they was better than the 92 Bulls. I don't think they was better than the 86 Celtics. So, no. They had a lot of things. Remember also, I also want you to remember this about that 2017 team. They had some things go their way, which you need. You absolutely need that. And I want you to remember, JB, about what happened with that Golden State team. Do you remember on opening night, the San Antonio Spurs beat them by 29? Smoked them dudes. They didn't beat them on opening night. Came out on opening night and smoked them dudes. Then they get these dudes in the playoffs. I want to make sure you remember this now. They get them dudes in the playoffs in the Western Conference Championship in game 1 in the 3rd quarter. They got these dudes minus 20. Then the Euro, who runs under Kawhi Leonard and rolls his ankle. Leonard is out for the series. He's done. I'm not saying that they don't beat San Antonio, but I think that's a way different. I think that's a way different series if he plays. Way different. If he plays, we got a completely different series. I ain't saying that Golden State doesn't beat San Antonio, but I ain't saying that they do neither. I think we got a completely different series. Zaza, that's his name. Leonard is out for the series. He's done. So essentially what that is it's the Miami Heat playing against the Boston Celtics, and Jason Tatum is done for the series. I think we got a different series if he's playing. I think we got a completely different series if he's playing. So, Yo, G, why is LeBron the GOAT? I agree with you that he's the GOAT. Why do you think so? I think it's because LeBron has so much more longevity, and he appeared in the finals 8 times in a row. And he's been so consistent at scoring defensively. Scoring and defensively speaking, he's pretty good. I think he's better than pretty good, but okay. Why do I think LeBron James is the GOAT? I think he's the GOAT because I've never seen a player. I wasn't around when Chamberlain came into the league. I wasn't around when Jabbar came into the league. I was around when Doc came into the league. I was around when Magic came into the league and Bird came into the league and Jordan came into the league. I was around when them dudes came into the league. And I've never seen a guy come into the league with more fanfare, more hype, and more pressure and deliver on the stage that he delivered on. He's the most complete basketball player that I've ever seen. And I've seen some great ones. He's delivered on every stage, more than once, more than twice, more than 3 times. And he's actually lived up to the hype. And I've never seen a guy who has been as good as he's been, right? I've never seen a guy who's been as good as he's been for as long as he's been. I've never seen that. Never. Hold on for a second, guys. I'm sorry. Never have I seen that. So Spurs did whoop them in game 1. And why did the Spurs whoop them? Spurs did whoop them in game 1. Absolutely. At this point, everyone. I would hope so, Keyshawn. I would hope so. Jillian, take it a step further than that. I think we're going to – I ain't speaking for me because I already know how I feel about him and how much I'm going to miss him. But you guys are going to miss this dude a lot more than you say when he's gone. When he ain't around no more, you're going to miss this guy. You think you're not. He's not just going to fade into oblivion. You're going to miss this guy when he's gone, and you're going to miss him tremendously. I promise you that. So, no problem, brother. They lost 1 game in the playoffs. That was the only game. The only team that can say that is the 0-1 Lakers. No, take it a step further than that, JB. Don't just say that they lost 1 game. No. The Lakers went undefeated on the road in the playoffs. Nobody in the history of the NBA can say that they did that. The Lakers are the only team that can say that they did that. Nobody else. And the only reason why they lost to the 76ers in that game 1 is because they had 10 days off. The Sixers came, that game 7 with the Sixers in Milwaukee was on Sunday. Not only was it on Sunday, game 1 was on Tuesday night in Los Angeles. Who would you rather fight? Would you rather fight somebody who's been sitting around doing nothing, or would you rather fight somebody who just got finished whooping somebody's ass? Because I can tell you who I would rather not fight. I could tell you that. Before I tell you who I'd rather fight, I can tell you who I don't want to fight. I don't want to fight that person who just got finished whooping somebody's ass. Because he's looking at you going, I whoop your ass too. Absolutely. So I think they would have went undefeated in the playoffs had they not had 10 days off. Yeah, absolutely, Sam. No one, Jillian. No one will miss him more than Skip Bayless. That's not your opinion. That's a fact. Mm-hmm. That is absolutely a fact. I'm interested to see that too, Sauce. You mentioning that. I'm interested to see that too, because I'm looking at this Celtic team, and they got going early. And not only did they get going early, they got going early and often. Jason Tatum and Robert Williams had a really good chemistry going early. Robert Williams was 5 for 5 from the floor. Jason Tatum, Jimmy Butler, none of them dudes could stay in front of him. And Robert Williams got a lot of rim runs and a lot of rim dives. And that helped them out. Now, we all know that the third quarter was basically the game. I can't see the Miami Heat going on a 22-2 run again. I can't see Jason Tatum, or I can't see the Boston Celtics turning the ball over 8 times in a quarter and Jason Tatum being responsible for 6 of those 8 turnovers. I can't see that happening again. That was your ball game right there. I can't see them being held to 14 points in a quarter again. I can't see that. I think that they will play better. I'm pretty confident that they will play better. So, and getting Marcus Smart back tonight, getting Marcus Smart back tonight is going to be big for them, because he's their anchor on their defense on the perimeter. They don't have that guy who anchors their defense on the perimeter like he does. He is their Aaron Donald. He's their Khalil Mack. That's who he is. Jimmy Butler has done so great knowing what he is good at and seeing how the refs are calling the game as to draw fouls. He plays chess. It's remarkable how he has played in these playoffs. I can give it that logic, sure. I can absolutely give it that logic. But we don't know. They say Hartford is doubtful for this game, so he still has to clear. So he still has to clear COVID protocol, but they're not saying that he was positive when he took a test, but I think he's got a clear protocol. So he may miss these first 2 games. Sauce. Okay, let me get with Sauce, because Sauce is a Heat fan. Sauce is a Heat fan. I ain't talking to nobody right now except Sauce. Sauce, give me your reasoning right now while I'm talking to you. When let's rewind the clock back to October. Why should we have thought that the Miami Heat would be in the NBA, would be in the Eastern Conference Championship, competing for an NBA championship? I'm all ears. Let me know this. Go ahead. And by the way, before you answer that question, make sure you remember last year that you got mopped out of the playoffs in round 1. You didn't lose. You got mopped out of the playoffs in round 1. You added Kyle Lowry, who you haven't really had him in the playoffs, and you added PJ Tucker. So explain to us, all of us, why should we have thought in October that the Miami Heat were a legit championship contender? Go. I'm all ears. He didn't go off in the playoffs last year, so that's not true. No, that's not true. He didn't go off in the playoffs last year. In fact, y'all got smoked in the playoffs last year in 4 games. So no, that's not true. Next thing, keep going. I'm all ears to hear this, because I get so aggravated with the logic that we're sleeping on the Miami Heat. What about the Miami Heat gave us the idea that they were a championship contender? I'm not with this fan nonsense. I need legit logic on this. I'm all ears. JB, he didn't shut the door on him. You are 100% correct. He slammed the door on him. Slammed it. So again, tell us, Sauce, what was it about the Miami Heat that we had to believe that they were a championship contending team? Tell me. Hartford cleared protocol. That's great. So that means he'll be in the lineup tonight. That's good news right there. In fact, that's great news. What did the bubble have to do with it, Keyshawn? Since you want to chime in, what did the bubble have to do with it? I'm all ears. What did the bubble have to do with it? And the reason why, Logan, is because I'm sick of this logic that we sleeping on these dudes. What evidence did they give us to think that they would be championship contenders? That was 2 years ago. And then they lost to the team that they beat in the playoffs when Giannis got hurt, by the way. Don't forget to mention that part. Don't tell some of the story, Keyshawn, since you want to chime in. Don't tell some of the story. Tell us the whole story. Like the fact that Giannis was healthy and they mocked them dudes out of the playoffs. Don't tell some of it. Tell us the whole story. Actually, Nicholas, no, they're not always in contention. No, they're not. They weren't in contention last year. They were not. No, they were not. And nobody in the 2019-20 season had the Miami Heat as a legit contender in the Eastern Conference Championship. Nobody did. I know I didn't. Giannis got hurt in the bubble. He was the league MVP. If he doesn't get hurt, I think we got a different series. Toronto was way better. Boston was better. Even though, don't get me wrong, that stretch of 2 or 3 months where we don't have any season. Sauce, you still not giving me Sauce. What you sounding like right now is you sounding like a fan who's trying to boost up your team. You're still not answering my question. What about the Miami Heat this season, coming into this season, made us, all of us basketball fans, believe that Miami got a legit shot at going to the NBA Finals? What about them? What did they do going into this season made anybody think that outside of Miami? And the reason why I'm this animated about this because I'm tired of hearing this logic about we sleeping on them. Because no, we not. No, we are not. That's like saying, yo, we were sleeping on the Cincinnati Bengals last year. We were straight sleeping on them. They went 4-12 the year before. 4-12. Who had the Cincinnati Bengals in the bowl game? By show of hands. I'm all ears. Who in here had the Cincinnati Bengals in the bowl game going into the season? Keyshawn, why aren't you mentioning that they swept them the next year? How come you're not mentioning that part? And by the way, they did beat Miami when Giannis got hurt. When Giannis got hurt, they beat Miami. And then the next year, they swept them out of the playoffs. How come you're not talking about that? Forbes. Who is Nurse Lexi? I don't know who that is. I don't know who Nurse Lexi is. Do I? I don't know who is Nurse Lexi. I don't know who that is. That's all I'm saying, Evan. Evan, that's all I'm trying to say, Evan. Fanny, you had Cincy go. I thought Cincy would be better because I thought that they would make. I thought they had a legit shot at making the playoffs because their quarterback was healthy. I thought Joe Burrow was healthy going into this season, so I thought he'd have a better season. And I saw what they had offensively, so I thought they had a legit shot at making the playoffs. This whole we going to the bowl game? Chill out, relax. I don't know who this chick is. When I think about like a lot of the stuff that I'm only following like 50 something people, something like that. I don't know. I promise you, my man. Now, since you brought that up, I got to go find out who this chick is. Now I got to go find out who she is. I really do because I don't know. I promise you, I don't know who she is. I don't. I don't think that series is the same either. Morgan, you think that the Heat were underrated at the beginning of the season? So I'm glad you mentioned that, Morgan, because you think that the Heat were underrated at the beginning of the season. Before the season started, what did you think? But before I ask that question, are you a Miami Heat fan, Morgan? Pelicans fan. So before the season started, because I had the Miami Heat 4th in the Eastern Conference. That's where I had them at. And I thought that they had a legit shot because how good I thought they were going to be defensively. I thought they had a legit shot in making it to the Eastern Conference Championship. That was as far as I saw them going, considering how good they were defensively. Plus, the East, even though the East had gotten better, I thought that they had gotten better. Now, did I have them as a championship team? No, I did not. So you say that people underrated them, right, Morgan? So in terms of underrating them, where did you have them before the season started? I had the Mavs right around where they finished at. They finished 4th in the West. I had them 5th. I had them around the 5 seed. I think I had them 5, 6 seed. That's where I had them at. No, Midas, I did, and the reason why I couldn't see it is because I knew that Boston, I thought that they were going to be better. I thought that Milwaukee was going to be better. I'm looking at this Brooklyn team. I thought they were going to be better. I thought Philadelphia was going to be better. I had Miami as the 4th seed in the East. That was as far as I was going with them. That was as far as I was going with them. I wasn't going any further. I think the adjustment that the Mavs are going to make, I think they're going to let somebody else bring the ball up. And I think they're going to take that pressure off Luka, and I think they're going to get him more involved in the half court. And they'll get him involved in transition. But when Golden State scores, I think that they're going to have that primary ball handling responsibility. They're going to give more of that to Brunson. More of that to Brunson and Finney-Smith. And take that pressure off Luka and get Luka more involved in the offense early, so they get the ball across half court and get him involved in the offense earlier. I don't know if I understand the question, Evan. Do you think Giannis is too lightly helped in this Bucks team without Middleton? Lightly helped? What do you mean? Like Middleton isn't doing enough? Is that the logic? Or nah? Am I reading that wrong? Because I don't think that he wasn't doing enough. I thought he was doing plenty. I mean, we're talking about a guy throughout the season. I mean, he was averaging 20 a game. We had the Celtics. Like you just said, Adam. I think it was like January 20th. They were the 10th seed in the East. I wasn't sure if Udoka was the guy. I knew that they were having this internal thing between Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum where they were still trying to figure that out. It just wasn't working. It was not. But they finally got on the same page. I don't remember you having the Miami Heat as the number 1 seed. No, I do not, Keyshawn. Remember you having the Miami Heat as the number 1 seed. Not only do I not remember you having Miami Heat as the number 1 seed, as much as you in here talking to me about Kyrie Irving this and Kevin Durant that, there's no way you had Miami at the top of the Eastern Conference with Brooklyn coming into this season healthy with James Harden. There was no way you said to us. No, that's what I thought. Okay, I just want to make sure. You think we get a rematch of the finals? No, I don't remember saying Joker would be the MVP and the Nets getting swept. I never said that Joker was the MVP. Never. Giannis was my MVP, always, Leb. I don't know where you get that information from. I always had Giannis as the league MVP. Always. And I never said that the Nets were getting swept. Never. Right. So we weren't. I can tell you right now, Adam. I wasn't sure about what was going on with the Boston Celtics. Like I said, I had them before the season started. I think I had Boston 5th in the East. I had Milwaukee, Brooklyn, Philly, Miami, and Boston. That's where I had Boston. I had Boston in the 5 spot. When they were in the 10th spot, I was thinking, are these guys even going to make the playoffs? Are they going to make the playoffs? Morgan, I just don't see how a team that got swept out of the playoffs in the first round. I'm trying to get legit logic on how a team that got swept out of the playoffs in the first round that didn't make any major changes to their roster. They got PJ Tucker in free agency, and they got Kyle Lowry, who's on the other side of his prime. That they go from getting swept out of the playoffs in the first round to this team is a #1 contender. What logic could I honestly give you to, if we rewind the clock back to October, what legit logic could I give you to sell you that they were a legit championship contender? I know Jimmy didn't have one 40-point game, but okay, what you still not answering my question. I know that he didn't have one 40-point game in the regular season, and he's had he had 2 in the playoffs. Okay, I understand that part. Nobody is questioning who Jimmy Butler is. That's not my point. That's not my point. Okay, I'm glad you mentioned that part. They upgraded Dragic from Kyle Lowry. Is it that much of an improvement, though? Is Kyle Lowry that much of an improvement to Dragic? Wow, I don't know if he's that much. I think he's an improvement. I don't want to. What I don't want to do is I don't want to get this misconstrued that Kyle Lowry is an improvement at the 1. Is he that much of an improvement? A 35-year-old Kyle Lowry? You think he's that much better than Dragic? And not just that much better as a player. Do you think he's that much better for what they're doing in Miami? Because remember, Dragic got hurt in them. I think them finals are different if Dragic doesn't get hurt. He did get hurt now. And with all of that being said, Midas, Kyle Lowry is on the other side of his greatness. That's not my opinion. That's a fact. I remember Kyle Lowry last year in Toronto. So him getting on your crew, he's not the difference in what you guys are doing. Matter of fact, he's hardly played in the playoffs. It's not like Kyle Lowry's been playing in the playoffs and he's been lights out. Has he? But excuse me, and this is now forward thinking. But even before the season started, I thought he was a good addition to what you guys were doing. No doubt about that. But to tell me that I'm sleeping on the Miami Heat and I've always been sleeping on them, there was no evidence for me to think that these guys had a legit shot with Milwaukee being who they were, with Brooklyn coming into the season with what they had, with Philadelphia coming back with what they had, with Boston being better. There was no reason for me to think that the Miami Heat were at the top of the Eastern Conference. There was no reason for me to think that. None. Like, see how nuts that sounds, J-Rock? J-Rock, one more time for the people. I'm sorry, but that comment right there is that's somebody screaming from the back. Hey, J-Rock, one more time, because the people in the back, they didn't hear you. I don't think they heard you. I don't think it would put him over Paul Pierce all time. No, I don't think that. Here's the problem, Fred, because I think that you looking at Victor Oladipo in Indiana. That dude ain't there. That's not the Victor Oladipo that's in Miami. The dude that's in Indiana, the Victor Oladipo that was in Miami, he's gone. That dude is gone. Now, Vic this season is very much like what Klay Thompson was doing in Golden State, where he was just trying to prove that, yo, I can still hold up and I can still play. He ain't garbage. No, he's not garbage, Aaron. Kill that. He is not garbage. Don't say that. But he was just trying to prove that he could hold up. Now, could he get back to being a better player? Absolutely. But he is not garbage. No. No way about no way. Got to knock it off. Hakeem was not better than Jabbar. Kill it. Jabbar averaged 30 and 15 for 8 straight years. Kill it, man. Knock that nonsense off. Don't come in here with that. Do not do that. They don't need an elite scorer like Donovan Mitchell, because Donovan Mitchell is not an elite scorer. Donovan Mitchell is a high-volume shooter. I've seen plenty, especially in the playoffs, I've seen plenty of 10 for 29 games with Donovan Mitchell, 13 for 30 games with Donovan Mitchell. No. Add that to the fact that, does Donovan Mitchell fit the Heat culture? Is Donovan Mitchell what the Heat are? Because the Heat are, once again, they are lock-ass, gritty, tough guys. Is that Donovan Mitchell? No, Justin, I had, I had Giannis winning the league MVP. Lowry does not go back to Toronto. Nope. Hakeem is not more skilled on both ends. No, he isn't. And Gutter, let's get to the bottom of this also, because I mentioned this before, right? I've mentioned this plenty of times. More skilled, better basketball player. Translation, more talented. I've seen more talented players get outplayed. So that logic doesn't work with me. I don't care if you're more talented. Jabbar produced in the playoffs. Jabbar produced in the regular season more than Olajuwon did. Not sometimes or most times. I don't care about, well, he's more skilled. And I don't care about that better basketball player thing. I don't care about that. I care about what did you produce. That's what I care about. And I watched Jabbar go 30 and 15 for 8 straight years. I watched Jabbar win the Finals MVP at 38 years old. 38. So kill that logic that more skilled and better basketball. Go talk to somebody else about that. I'm not listening to that. Nope. I'm not. OG, do you get hyped when someone does a poster or an ankle breaker? Hell yeah. Hell yeah. Do you remember when DeAndre Jordan threw Brandon Knight through the basket? When DeAndre Jordan was playing with the Clippers and he basically threw Brandon Knight through the basket? I remember watching that thinking to myself, what are you thinking? He will break your neck. Get out of the way, dummy. And then he goes on TV the next day and said, say it one more time, Hester. Then he goes on TV that night and he says, quote, if I was standing under the basket, I would try to block it again. And he would throw you through the basket again. Get your dumb ass out the way. Hester, that was awful. That was unfair. That was terrible. That was absolutely terrible. They would have to package. Here's the thing, King. Your boys would have to package somebody. I'm sorry, I gotta get myself together first, because I'm thinking I got an image in my head right now of DeAndre Jordan throwing Brandon Knight through the basket in addition to the ball and about breaking his neck. I'm sorry, let me get it together, yo. Let me get it together. All right, I'm good. I'm good now. So to get back to what you were talking about, you want Siakam on the Nets. You like him with KD? I think Siakam I think he's a legit number 2, but I also think he's a guy who needs the basketball. And with Irv, who also needs the basketball, and KD, who needs the basketball, that might be tricky. That might be really tricky. Now, if you want to turn Ayton into a rim protector and a rim runner and a rebounder, I don't have a problem with that. But I don't know if Siakam fits what you guys are doing. Mm-mm. If Buckets wins the championship, well, even if he doesn't win it, let's just say they get back to the finals. We got to start talking about Buckets different. And a lot of y'all don't want to have this conversation, and I know you don't, but we got to start talking about we got to kill the logic of Buckets in Klay Thompson. We can't have that conversation no more. That conversation got to go away. As a lead dog, I took my team to the NBA Finals twice. You can't say that. You can't say that. As a lead dog, I've taken my teams deep into the playoffs. You can't say that. So if they were to go to the NBA Finals, I think that I absolutely believe that we're going to have a different conversation. Is Jimmy making the All-NBA team? He made the All-NBA team last year. I was surprised he made the All-NBA team last year. He made the All-NBA team last year. I think he will. Mm-hmm. I think he'll make the All-NBA team this year. You got to play 55 games. Mm-hmm. I think he'll make the All-NBA team this year. No, Spool. I don't. I think he's trying to patent his game at the Curry, but I don't think he's the athlete that Curry is. That offense isn't tailored like Golden State offense is. He's more of a playmaker and a passer as well, more than he is just a scorer. He went almost 30 and 10. So when I think about Trae Young and what kind of mold he falls into, I'm thinking like Tiny Archibald. I'm thinking about guys like that. That's who I'm thinking about. It depends, King. It depends on where. Like Cameron Payne is the ultimate. He's the ultimate rotation guy. Kendrick Nunn is just a scorer. Kendrick Nunn he's not the passer, he's not the distributor, he's not the playmaker or the defender that Cameron Payne is. So I think that Cameron Payne is the ultimate rotation guy, and he could fit on a lot of championship teams on their units. Kendrick Nunn, on the other hand, he's buckets. And in the process of him being buckets, he can't really fit on a lot of championship teams. Because if they already got a guy that's buckets coming off the bench, like, for example, Miami, they got Hero. So if Kendrick Nunn was in Miami, he'd be screwing Hero up. He would be slowing up Hero. That wouldn't work. Cameron Payne coming off the bench in Miami, he would be perfect for their second unit. He would be great for what they're doing. Passer and playmaker aren't the same thing. Playmaker is I get to the rim, and because I don't just make plays for other people. I'm a playmaker for myself too. I'm not just a playmaker for other people. I'm a playmaker for myself. So when I get to the rim or when I get into the teeth of the defense and I'm getting double teamed and I'm shooting over the top of people, or I'm getting to the rim and I'm getting double teamed, or I'm getting to the rim and I'm getting fouled by one guy, I'm making plays for myself. And that's causing havoc for your unit. I got tricked with CP. That's really all it is. I watched a little bit of the draft combine today, and I think Timmy from nobody really like blew my mind. I didn't see anybody that I was overly impressed with. I think Timmy from Gonzaga, I think he's a rotation guy. I don't think he's a star. I think he's a rotation guy. So I think the kid from I think Orlando takes the kid from Auburn, Parker. I mean, I'm not Parker. Is it Jabari Parker? Not Jabari Parker? The kid from Auburn. I think that they take him. I don't think Chet Holmgren's going to be that good, to be honest with you. Smith, that's what I'm thinking about. Midas, yes, Smith. Absolutely, KD did take his team to the NBA Finals at 23 years old. Yes, he not only did he take his team to the finals at 23 years old, Sage, he averaged 30 and 10 in them finals. They weren't ready, but he did average 20 and he averaged 30 and 10 in those finals. I don't think that this kid's going to be very good. I'm not sold on him. When I think about the number one pick in the draft, I think about a franchise player. And what's the timeline on a guy who's the number one pick in the draft? Like what kind of timeline do we have before we start going, they got this one right? Yes, smartest playing tonight, and it turns out my girl Jillian told me that Hartford cleared protocol, so he's going to go tonight too. That's great news. That is great news. So I like that kid from Duke. I do. I still am high on Davion Mitchell. I don't like him in Sacramento. I don't. I hate him in Sacramento. I would love him in New Orleans. He'd be the lead guard in New Orleans. I would love him there. I would love him in Washington. He'd be the lead guard in Washington. He's perfect for what they're doing in Washington. New Orleans. Not Minnesota. No, not Minnesota. But I would love him in a place like New Orleans. I would love him in a place where he's not playing behind nobody. We giving him the basketball, and you are our lead guard. I would love him in New Orleans. I would love him in Washington. Absolutely, I would. CJ isn't a lead guard. CJ plays the two guard. So, steady, get off CJ being – CJ plays off the basketball. That's not who CJ is. CJ never played on the basketball. That was Dame's job. Dame was the lead guard in Portland. Davion Mitchell in New York. Yes, AJ, I would love him in New York. He would be perfect for what they're doing in New York. Absolutely. No doubt. JB, man, Herb Jones and Davion Mitchell, we might be looking at Joe Dumars and Isaiah Thomas on the perimeter. We might be. To say that right there, whoo, we might be looking at Joe Dumars and Isaiah Thomas on the perimeter. We might be. No, because they got a different offense. They got a different offense in Brooklyn. They don't have a primary ball handler. So I don't think that – here's the thing, Agent. It's not that he needs to request a trade. I've said this to you already, man. Me and you have had this conversation over the course of this season. You guys are going to run Dame out of Portland. You're not going to let him stay there. You guys, the chatter is going to get so loud, and it's getting louder and louder as time goes on. You guys are going to run him out of there. You guys are going to be the ones to keep talking as loud as you talking, and eventually you're going to get him ran out of Portland. It's going to be you guys. Excuse me, you guys. I think he may be better, though, Capella. I do. I think he might be better than Marcus Smart. I think he might be a better athlete than Marcus Smart, a better distributor. And I love that comparison. Absolutely. Yes, sir. It depends on who that kid from Duke ends up with. The big kid Williams that was on with that played in the front court with him, I think he's gonna be a better pro than he was at Duke. I think he's gonna be a better pro than what you saw from him, because I see the athleticism. I see I'm looking at Williams, and he kind of reminds me of maybe a more athletic version of Robert Williams, and maybe he can score the basketball. So if you could get that from a 19-year-old, forget it. Smart is a great athlete, but I look at this kid, Davion Mitchell, and he looks like he may be a better version of Marcus Smart. Yeah, J-Rock. I just don't like him in Sacramento. I was surprised that they did when they moved off of Halliburton. I thought they were going to move off of Fox and give him the ball. I thought that they were going to do that. Yes, Mark Williams. That's him, the big fella from Duke. I'm not a Heat guy, Steady. I'm not a Heat guy. I had Milwaukee winning the NBA championship. I didn't have Chris Middleton spraining his MCL in the playoffs. So it's a little bit tricky. It got tricky after that. That skip, I don't think they need to do anything. We took Boston to 7 games without our second best player. Now, I do think that they're going to show up the front court. I think that they need to get younger in the front court and get a younger big, maybe in free agency, something like that. I do think that they need to get. I think they need to shore up their bench a little bit. Another dirty work guy to go along with Bobby Portis. But other than that, run it back. We got the ingredients with Holiday, Middleton, and Giannis. We got the ingredients. Top 5 foreign players of all time. Let's see. Pau Gasol, Dirk, Olajuwon, Giannis. Maybe Luka. Luka's in year 4. He's still got a lot of work to do. But to go from 1 to 5, Olajuwon at the top, Dirk behind him, Gasol behind him. Who did I just say? If Mark Williams ends up in Milwaukee, that'd be a steal. That would be a steal for them. Oh, man, that would be a steal. If he ends up in Milwaukee, Giannis has not surpassed Dirk Skip. He's still got work to do. No, he has not. No, he has not. I'm not putting a guy who's in year 9, who just got good, who just became elite over the last 3-4 years over a guy who played 20 years and he was elite for 8 or 9 of those 20 years. I'm not putting a guy over him that hasn't done that yet. No. I like that. Williams and Giannis in the paint. And he plays day 1 too, by the way. I think Williams is their starting power forward. Oh, I'm sorry. I think he's their starting 5-man. Day 1. I think Steve Kerr does a better job at managing. I think Spo is a better X and O guy than Steve Kerr. I'm already on that, AM. It was after and you guys in here know how I feel about Kawhi Leonard. You guys know how much I love him. But to this day. It was after the 18 season, what I saw him do against Damian Lillard. I stand on it to this day. I think Jrue Holiday is the best perimeter defender in the game. I still stand on that. I think he's the best perimeter defender in the game, especially after what he did last year to Chris Paul. I think he's the best perimeter defender in the game, no doubt. So Giannis is the most likely of all the guys that I've seen. Yeah, Giannis is the most. If Giannis keeps up with, if Giannis can continue on the trajectory that he's on, yes. No doubt about that. So, all right, guys, it's about that time for me. It was good to see you guys, and I will see you guys real soon. Playoff basketball, guys. Keep checking me out. You know where to find me at. I'm here right here on Chilltown Hoops, or you can find me on TikTok, Chilltown32. So we're going to keep doing it for as long as y'all want me around. So until then, take it light, but take it.